So that's how state mapping works. Now let's move on. Mapping acts like which data structure, its hash maps, as we have read here. Binary acts like mesh heap. Now let's move on to the word enums. The word enum stands for enumerable. They are user-defined types that contains human-readable names for a set of constant called numbers. They are commonly used to restrict a variable to only have one or few predefined values, since they are just an abstraction of human-readable constants. In actuality, they are internally represented as uints. Okay, now let's see the syntax. Here we are creating enum with the status pending shape accepted, rejected, cancel. Okay. Now declaring a variable of the type status. This can only contains one of the predefined values. So basically we are created a variable using this enum. This can only contains one of the predefined values. So this will have only one value. Since enum are internally represented by uint, this function will always returns a uint. So let's see. Pending 0, shipped 1, accepted 0, accepted 2, rejected 3, cancelled 4. So basically internally structure enums worked as integers, so that's why they will going to return you the integer value. Okay, now let's see how we can run it and see the results of it. Okay, now let's new file enum.sol. Now just paste it, close other smart contracts. Now just save. Okay, so we have created this variable and declared it as enum. So let's see what works. It's compiled successfully. Now let's deploy it, and let's first call the function get. So we get the value 0. Now let's set it to 3, which is rejected. Now let's get it so you can the value 3. Okay, now let's cancel it. Means value set to 4. Now get it, you will get the value 4. Basically inside the cancel function we are setting up the value of status to enum value cancelled, status dot cancel. So that's how we define enums in smart contract. Now let's move on. What are enum used for? To restrict a variable to only have one or few predefined values. It is a function to only have one or few predefined value, to restrict the interface to only one of them. So there it is. They are user defined tabs that contain immutable names and set of constant members. They are commonly used to restrict a variable to only have one or few predefined values. So here it is. Uh, we are predefining the values, and let's create a variable of that type and then use it. So it means that this variable have only these set of values. Okay, now let's see it by okay 0 1 2 3 4. Now let's try to enter value 6. Okay, so here you can see that the this is not a valid value, so that's why it gives us error and transaction is not successfully done. If we put 3, then the transaction will be done successfully. Why? Because we have only 1 0 1 2 3 4 values. If we put 5, it should give us error, whereas if we put 4, it should transact uh, properly. So that's why we are saying that to restrict enum use for to restrict a variable to only have one or few predefined values. Well, now let's move on to structs. The concept of struct exists in many high-level programming languages. They are used to define your own data types with groups to related data. Now let's see how struct works in Solidity smart contracts. Now just copy the code and paste inside the remix ID. New file truct as save it. Okay, now here we are declaring the structure. So what is this? So how we can define it? We name it to do items, and inside that we have set it string with the variable text bool, variable name completed, data type bool, and variable name completed. Now then create an array of to do item structure. Now we are creating an array of to do item structure by naming it to dos, and now we will be creating a to dos by calling a create to do function. First, push to do items inside this array. So let's just push to do item text